Welcome to today's Tea Time audio story. It's time to slow down, take a deep breath, and enjoy a moment just for you. As you sip your favorite tea, let your mind drift into the world of stories, where imagination comes alive and anything is possible. Listening to audio stories isn't just entertaining, it's also a wonderful way to relax, spark creativity, and improve your English in a natural and enjoyable way. Stories have the power to transport us to far-off places, introduce us to new characters, and remind us of life's little lessons. So whether you're here to unwind, learn something new, or simply enjoy a quiet escape, this is your time. Get comfortable, let your worries melt away, and allow today's story to take you on a journey. Let the magic begin. Leanna had spent so long guarding her heart. She built walls made of doubt, fear, and self-protection. Walls that had kept her safe but also kept her lonely. Vulnerability had been a risk she couldn't afford, especially when she wasn't sure if love would come freely, without conditions. But with Noah, the walls were starting to crack. It wasn't sudden. It wasn't some grand, sweeping moment. It was small things. Quiet things. The way he remembered how she took her coffee. The way his hand lingered gently against hers. The way his laugh warmed her skin, soft and safe. And the way he looked at her, not as someone who had changed, but as someone he had always seen. It terrified her. And it thrilled her. Because for the first time, she felt like she could be loved for who she was. Not for who she was becoming. Not for who she was pretending to be. But for herself. Entirely. It started one evening, when they sat together on her couch, the comfort of silence between them. Noah's arm was draped casually along the back of the couch, his fingers close but not quite touching her shoulder. Leanna broke the silence, her voice hesitant. "You know I'm not always this strong, right?" Noah turned, his brow creasing slightly. "You don't always have to be." She swallowed, the words tangled on her tongue. "Sometimes I still struggle. I still doubt myself. I still feel like that girl who didn't believe she was enough." Noah's eyes were soft, steady. "I know. And I love her too." The words hit harder than she expected. She blinked, looking down, her throat thick with emotion. "Even when I don't feel strong? Even when I doubt?" "Especially then," he said quietly. "Because that's when you're real. And I want all of you. Not just the easy parts." And just like that, something in her shifted. She felt seen. Not the version of her that smiled for approval, but the whole, messy, uncertain version of her that she often hid away. Letting Noah in wasn't easy. Vulnerability never was. But she tried. She told him about the nights she still counted calories in her head, even when she knew she didn't need to. About the mornings when the mirror still felt like an enemy. About the fear that crept in when the compliments came too fast, too easy. And he listened. Without judgment. Without trying to fix her. He just held space for her pain, for her truth. And in that space, she found freedom. "You don't have to be perfect," he said one night. "Not for me. Not for anyone." And Leanna believed him. Slowly, hesitantly, but she believed. Their love deepened in quiet ways. In the way they cooked together, moving easily around the kitchen. In the way Noah would gently kiss her forehead when he thought she wasn't looking. In the way he asked her how she was feeling and truly listened to the answer. He never rushed her. Never expected more than she could give. He took her as she was, every day, no matter what version of her showed up. And Leanna learned to trust that. to trust him. One afternoon, they sat on the grass in the park, their hands intertwined. Leanna watched the sunlight filter through the trees, shadows dancing on their skin. "Why do you love me?" she asked suddenly, her voice soft but certain. Noah turned, his gaze thoughtful. "Because you're honest. Because you fight for yourself, even when it's hard. Because you care so deeply. Because you're not afraid to be real, even when it hurts." He paused, then added, "And because you're learning to love yourself, and that's the bravest thing I've ever seen." Tears pricked her eyes, but she didn't look away. She let him see. Let him hold her gaze. Because that was love too, being seen and still being chosen. There were still moments of doubt. Times when she pulled away, unsure if she could trust it. When the voice of old fears whispered that love like this was too good, too fragile. But Noah always stayed. Quiet and patient. He held her hand when she trembled. He listened when her words faltered. And slowly, she let herself be held. Be known. Be loved. And with every moment, she learned to love him deeper too. To trust that she could be loved, not despite her struggles, but through them. It wasn't perfect. No love ever was. But it was honest. And it was enough. And that was everything. Thank you for joining today's Tea Time story. We hope you enjoyed this journey into the world of imagination and storytelling. Whether it made you smile, sparked a new thought, or simply gave you a moment to relax, we're grateful to have shared this time with you. Thank you for listening and being part of our story time. Keep dreaming, keep imagining, and we'll see you again for another magical tale soon. Until next time, take care and happy listening.